The Claypool stuff, I mean, this is the second year.
What do you think? Okay, so Claypool, big 4th and 1, 4th and 2 conversion on the slant, catches great ball, celebrates, kind of gives his little first down marker as what the center was running over to take the ball to get it spotted. The ball gets knocked around. Looks like backyard football, how the ref's trying to find the ball. They probably would have had one more play, right? After
at least. Yeah, and he got benched last night because he got the taunting, and I'm surprised he doesn't get it more. He does it all the fucking time. And he got benched, and then he still does that. You have to think about the moment before you think about yourself. And I don't know how often he does. He's so fucking talented, but he does that shit all the time. And it's week 13, so it's obligation for me to hate a fucking Steelers wide receiver at this point in the season. And I guess it's going to be him this season. He does the fucking TikTok and his. This is probably all fucking Juju's fault, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, I love Ben. I love that they fought. They do. I just wish they would do it earlier in the game. I don't know. They're not going to win the Super Bowl.
If they found a way to tie that game up and potentially win, that's a franchise win for the Pittsburgh Steelers and possibly catapults them. Yeah, for me, it's the super boost too. Everyone's life could have been different if the Steelers just could have found a way to win that game, right?
So Chase Claypool, I would like to talk about Chase Claypool because his press conference after the game, and I think we know Chase a little bit, right? I think at this point we've had him on a couple times, and he's very young and he's very talented, and he is taking it on the shins, justifiably so, for the optics of the entire thing. But if you hear what he was saying, hey, I caught the ball in the hash. All right, the ref's fat ass wasn't there yet. Is basically what he said. The ref's fat ass wasn't there yet. I think he thought he had time, a little bit of time to do that and still be able to hand the ball off and then line up in the formation that he was at. So I understand where he is coming from in that particular case, but optically that can't fucking happen.
Yeah.
That is just something that can't happen. So I think the ball exchange between he and Turner, I believe it was Trey.
Yeah, it was.
I believe Trey was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Which by the way, I think everybody had. At this point, has appreciated him doing that and everything like that. But the ball ending up on the ground never could. Never, because nobody can scoop it. No ref can scoop it square. No. You know what I mean? I can't. No ref can.
Right.
But that's another play. It's just optically, it looks terrible.
I instantly thought of how they praised Larry Fitzgerald when he would grab the ball and sprint it over to the ref in situations like that. That's what I started to think about when I saw the Chase Claypool situation play out.
They taught that, I assume, at Packers. It felt like just as somebody that watched practice, and we mentioned Peyton being that was just like a part of it. Like, hey, if we're running 2 minute right now, this ball ends up in this ref's hands right next to the hash that it's being spotted. Like this, you even run with the ref almost. Like you don't even trust them to potentially take the handoff and run with it. It's like,
put your hand on his back. You bring him with you almost. So here we go.
Here you go. Fucking put it down right here. There started to be a trend where people just started putting the ball down, but then the D lineman would just kick it, which, by the way, smart. You should do.
Minnesota did a good job. Did you notice Minnesota did a good job of holding guys down, but not long enough to get a penalty, and they would systematically kind of bump into whoever the receiver was trying to. Yeah, it was awesome. They would just give him a little bump, like, hey, I'm just walking here, and you ran into me. Like they took off a few seconds doing those little gamesmanship tricks.
I wish they would have done that last week. But then
they learned. Harrison Smith said, "This ain't happening again."
No,
I'm fucking putting my right hand through this guy's hand. Ball. That was an unfucking believable play.
Talk about
Muth is going to feel terrible, right? I think if we know anything about Fryer Muth, he's a young tight end. He's going to feel terrible. I think that is just a hell of a play on the other side. I don't think Muth should be, distraught about himself.
Yeah, I don't know how he was supposed to bring that in because the second he got those two hands on the ball, that punch is coming. You can see it. Harrison Smith, that punch is 16 inches away right there. He makes contact, and he hits the ball directly in three defenders. What a throw. What an almost catch right there.
Yeah, that was good on good. And then Ben's all the way back to being Ben, by the way, because they asked him about they asked Ben about Claypool and maybe Ben, teaching him or something like that, and Ben's like, that's not my fucking job. That's
classic. Way to hit, Ben. Bury somebody else.
It's classic him.
Yeah. Hey, Nick. So you've been kind of quiet back there. What are your thoughts on the game last night? What were your emotions going through that game from first half to second half?
Just kind of taking it all in right there, what you guys are going through, and I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head in a lot of points. Echoing the sentiment of Diggs there with what Ben said after the game about Claypool, about that's not on him, that's on Tomlin. That's kind of a cheapskate way out. It's kind of a pass the buck type of thing, but that's always been Ben.